Hey guys, welcome back to RC Video Reviews. I want to talk to you about something that can help you whether you're an experienced pilot or you're just getting into the hobby. One of the problems you have when you're first getting started is can you do it? Now, I don't think RC is particularly hard. I think the main trick is to develop what I refer to as muscle memory. That's the deal. The easiest way that I know to develop muscle memory, or certainly the cheapest way to develop muscle memory, is to use something like a flight simulator. The folks at BitGo Hobby, when they sent me some of their radios to review, one of the things they suggested was that I do a flight simulator review, and they were nice enough to include a link to this simulator that I have running on the computer in front of me called Flying Model Simulator. And they provide that on their website as a link that's a download for free. Free. Okay, before I get into the software itself, I'm going to cover some ground rules. I don't want to get into a comparison between this Flying Model Simulator and RealFlight or Phoenix or some of the other top shelf Microsoft flight simulator. That's not what this is. So let's not compare it to that. What this is, in my opinion, real simple, is it's a tool to help a new pilot or an existing pilot either develop or improve muscle memory skills, okay? If you want to play a video game like Microsoft Flight Simulator, go buy Microsoft Flight Simulator, spend whatever, I don't even know how much it costs, 100, 150 bucks. Go spend that money and go play the game. But if what you're trying to do is learn how to fly an airplane and you haven't made the commitment to the hobby yet, then free is good. So let's start with that. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go with the cheapest, fastest way that you can get going. All right, and I'm just going to show you how to set this up. This radio is a simple base model 4-channel. It's called the Detram Gavin 6A. I'll put the price in the description. I don't want to quote prices because times change, right? So I don't want someone, 8 months from now reading this and saying, hey man, you said that was 50 bucks and it's only 20. So I'll put the price in the description, but this is a very basic model radio. So if you're not sure if you're going to be fully invested into radio control, you can start with a very basic model radio like this 6A, and it sells for something like $40, right? Somewhere around $40. This cable, this came with my laptop. I don't have any USB-A, I only have USB-C. So this is a little USB-C to USB-A adapter, that's all it is. And then BitGo Hobby sells this little USB dongle, and all I can think that it does is it behaves as an emulator for a joystick, because I'll show you in the software what happens in just a minute. But here's the cool thing. In Windows 10 now, I'm sorry guys, I don't have Linux. I use Linux, but I don't have a Linux laptop available, and I don't have a Mac laptop available. So all I can do is speak to Windows 10. I'm not sure if this will work on a Mac or in Parallels or in Boot Camp or in Linux or anything else, or in Windows 7 or in Windows 8. All I can do is address Windows 10 because that's what I have, okay? But this little cable, again, price will be in the description, runs something like $7.99 today in December 2019. So it's like $7 or $8 for this cable. So basically, you plug this in, you download the software, you do the install routine. Everybody that's watching this has installed at least one piece of software in their life. You install the software, you get your radio, you connect the cable to this little trainer jack on the side, and that's the hardware. Piece of cake. So far, we're about $40, $45 in a radio. We're about $8 in a cable, so $53. That's what we've invested. Now, here's the thing. If you decide you want to go into an airplane, you can use this radio to fly the plane. This is not just a toy radio. This is a real radio that's got a 2.4 gigahertz antenna that you can go out and fly. Okay, next step is just to go into the software under controls and hit analog control, set it for joystick interface, and then under mapping calibration, just verify your mapping. And all you have to do is change these numbers if something doesn't match. So if your rudder is on channel 2, just change this channel to channel 2. Right now, I've verified that everything that I have is where it's supposed to be. My rudder's on channel 4, My elevator's on channel 2, my aileron's on 1, and my throttle's on 3. And then you can run the calibration when you're done. To calibrate your transmitter, click calibrate. Let's do that. It says move the stick several times in circle until the range is adapted. Continue with calibration with next. So all I'm going to do is move the sticks to the full range of motion just to tell the software how far these sticks travel. That's it. Just a couple of times, and then I'm going to hit next. And then center all sticks. So it wants me to center everything. Center all sticks, hit finish, and we're done. Now we hit OK. We hit OK again. I've pulled my throttle back, and we take off. Now, this software, I'm going to tell you right up front, you don't buy this because you want the high-end graphics, you want every different flying field you can think of. You pay for software if you want to do that, and there are options out there for that. But here's what this software will do for you, without question. This is not a debatable topic. This software and this radio will teach you the muscle memory you need to fly an airplane on radio control. So I'm going to pull this in front of me so I can see a little better. And I'm just going to fly a little bit. So I got full throttle, pull back a little bit. I pull back on the elevator, do an aileron roll, and I'm flying. So again, if you're looking for physics or if you're looking for scenery or top shelf graphics, go ahead and spend the $100 on Real Flight. You can do that. That's certainly your option. But if you want a nice beginner option when you're still learning and you're not sure if you're going to make the investment, this is the way to go. Also, I got another point to make here. If you're an experienced pilot and it's really bad weather, you've been watching my videos lately, if it's really bad weather, you can get one of these little rigs and do some flying at home while you wait for the weather to clear up. And additionally, if you're an experienced pilot and you want to learn a new maneuver, I'll tell you one of the things that I wanted to learn how to do really cleanly was a knife edge. So I would get in the software, this type of software, I put it on its side. Whoops, see, I just did that wrong. I put it on its side and I'd hold that, this plane didn't make it, but I'd hold that rudder, and I'd use the software like this to learn how to do those advanced maneuvers without putting my actual airplanes at risk. So that's another application for this type of software if you're an experienced pilot. So another option is to use a radio like the Detrim 6C. This has a few more options over the 6A in that it's computerized, it's got some model memory, it's got a few more switches, just a little bit of a better radio, all right? It's got more capabilities. So for a small uptick in price, you can go grab yourself a Detrim 6C, and this could legitimately be a full-time radio for, for whatever number of planes you want to take to the field. Same deal, I'm just going to plug it into the trainer port. All right, so I'm just calibrating the Gavin 6C, just moving the sticks through the range of motion. Probably only really have to do it one time. And then after you've done that, you hit next, and then center the sticks. I've done that. We'll hit finish, and calibration is finished now. There we go. All right, so here we are at the Gavin 6C. I'm just gonna pop this guy up and fly it around. So here again, my elevator's backwards. So we need to go into controls and flip that. Analog control, mapping, elevator, will inverse that as well. Okay, everything else looks good. All right, so I've got full controls now. Aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder. So there you go. Now I've got the Gavin 6C operating the simulator. And again, this radio is just a little bit more than that 4-channel radio, and it operates the simulator just fine. So the other cool part about this is when you take this to the field, you can translate the feel of your radio on your simulator to what you're flying at the field. And believe it or not, that actually matters. Having continuity in your practice radio and your actual flying radio, that's not a terrible thing. All right, I don't have much more than that. I just want to spend a few minutes kind of closing out my thoughts on using a simulator like this, okay? Remember what I talked about in terms of ground rules. The ground rules are simple, and that's that you use a simulator like this to develop muscle memory. It's to learn which way your thumbs are supposed to go without putting an actual aircraft at risk, or a person for that matter. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier just to hit reset on one of these simulators than it is to build another airplane, okay? Take it for the spirit in which it's given. The simulator is functional. It's not the prettiest simulator in the world. It doesn't have all kinds of, you know, advanced options like you have in the PACE stuff, but who cares? It's free. And if you're using it for in the context of developing muscle memory, it's a great option. This is a very good option, and you can pair it with a radio that you can actually take to the field and use to fly your planes. If you're new to RC, I would highly encourage you to consider looking at a simulator. Pick up a simulator, and whether or not you like this one or you want to use this radio equipment, that's another matter altogether. But the simulator in general will help you learn to fly radio controlled. It'll help you learn to develop the muscle memory you're going to need to be successful flying. So if you're looking for a very low cost option to get into flight simulator software, this is a great option because the radios are very inexpensive and the software itself is free and it's functional. So if you're an advanced pilot, tell new guys about this type of functionality. Tell them about the simulators, tell them about developing the muscle memory, and help them get started in radio control in the most successful likely outcome, and that's learning how to fly in something that's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. And if you're new to the hobby, getting started in a simulator, I couldn't recommend it more strongly. I just believe it's the way to go. I talk quite a bit on my channel about developing the correct muscle memory, and it's an important feature of flying radio control. All right, guys, I hope that video has been helpful to you. If it has, I would definitely appreciate your subscription down there in the corner, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because if you don't hit that and you miss material, that's on your shoulders. I'm posting it. I want to make sure you know about it, so don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. Do you mind if I work now, GoPro? Would that be okay with you? There you go, guys. If you're all right, and help them get started